Okay. Number 1. Quartz, or silicon dioxide, SiO2, is one of the most abundant, found in large quantities, minerals on the Earth. The diagram shows the atomic arrangement of quartz. Okay, what would atomic arrangement maybe mean, or what could you how could you break that down a little simpler or something? Explosive? Atomic? No. Atomic is like atom. Atomic number.
How the atoms are arranged?
How the atoms are, but give me a word for arranged. Put together. Okay? Next to on your answer sheet, next to that, put how atoms are put together. So, next Wednesday on the LEAP test, your choice is either you use your loose leaf sheets of paper to write this kind of stuff down, or you get that little sticky note thingy and you type it down on that. But you should be doing this method that I am doing right now every single question. And you will use this same method tonight whenever you do your homework. Okay? Every time. And actually, I would like for y'all to use the hide screen and cover up the words. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? There's that option where you can bring it up and just move it down as you go. We want to read I used to teach my kids, take your answer sheet, take that, and cover it up as you go. Your brain can only process one thing at a time. It does it fast. I'm talking way faster than I just did it. Your brain can fire fast, but it can only fire one at a time. So when you visually see all of that, it looks like it's chaos. We need to break it down into smaller stuff and do one thing at a time. Okay? The question is talking about this diagram, and before we ever go further, let's just tell ourselves, what do we notice about it? What do we see in this picture? Tell me.
Repeating the shapes.
Okay, repeat shapes. What else?
There's different atoms in it.
Oh, okay, so we have this dot. Is he the same as those two? No. So we have different atoms. And we only have a dark and a light. Would you agree with that? We only have a dark and a light because we're only dealing with silicon and oxygen. Does that make sense? Okay. Are we cool with that? All right. If you can't think of a million things, it's okay. Just whatever, and you put it in your own little way, and it's going to help you make sense of it, okay? Trust me. Trust me. It will help. Based on the diagram, so that means looking at the picture, which statement best describes the atomic arrangement of quartz? Okay, so which one is how the atoms are put together? When I read my choices, what am I looking for? I am not looking for how atoms are put together. I am not looking for the best anything. When I read my choices, what am I first looking for? The wrong answer. This is why y'all can't pass my test. This is the exact reason y'all cannot pass my test. When I read the choices, I am looking for 2 wrong answers. If I can't get 2, I at least need to get 1. There's something in there that is beyond stupid. Okay? An extended structure that is made of repeating patterns of atoms, many different kinds of atoms that can move freely past each other, a repeating pattern of small molecules that can move freely past each other, many different kinds of molecules that combine to form an extended structure. Okay, so I heard a lot of the same things, right? I heard repeating pattern, I heard molecules, I heard atoms, I heard move freely past each other. Is there anything that we noticed that could maybe be wrong Tylen? You think D? I'm not looking for a letter yet. Anything in those sentences that is like maybe
Move freely past each other.
move freely past each other.
If they're combined and they can't move around.
Do you think, according to this picture, that they can move freely past each other?
No.
B and C are wrong. Who chose B or C? You see how I do that? Now it makes a lot of sense, huh? But are you answering the questions like I just did? Nope, that's the problem. Tell me again? What does that mean? I want you to be using that red X on that computer. That's it. Okay? Now, if it's obvious, they give you some picture and it's like potential or kinetic. I mean, obviously, you're not going to waste your time. But they're probably going to use a lot of words. Exactly. That's what I'm looking for. Once that X is over it, I don't want you paying attention to it. Okay? Okay, so once again, out of the picture, we need something that describes their arrangement. Is it an extended structure that is made of repeating patterns of atoms, or is it many different kinds of molecules that combine to form an extended structure? A. Who missed it? Who missed number 1? You got number 1 wrong. So y'all chose D? Many different kinds of molecules. Molecules. The atoms make the silicon dioxide molecule. Okay, let's talk for a second about this. Oh, I moved it to my desk, I think. Yes, I did. Did y'all notice these parentheses that you had to write on the back of the card? And were they a little like, what does that mean? A little confusing? Kind of? Okay. Let's look at something. Kylan, turn around, please. Look at this. Does he somewhat kind of resemble this? I mean, like, do they have something in common? They're all repeating and they are connected? Right? Would you agree? Okay. This is a mineral. This is diamond. This is salt. A mineral, diamond, and salt. What are all those things? Salt's not a mineral. Solids. Solids are attracted. Move freely past each other. Liquids and gases. On your answer sheet, put move freely past liquid and gas. And solid attracted. Move freely past. The other thing you need to put by it is not attracted. They are not attracted. CO2, that's gas. So you're going to have CO2. They're all spread and they're just moving around. They are a, Stormy, look. They are a molecule. But look at this. He's a helium atom. Makes sense? And look, Stormy. Silicon. Silicon, oxygen, oxygen. That's a silicon atom with the 2 oxygens make up a molecule. Does that make sense? So they're not different kinds of molecules. They're all the same kind of molecule. Does that make sense? Okay, awesome. Number 2. A student claims... Oh, what is claim? She studied what you think it's going to be. that all objects exert a gravitational force on one another. So a student thinks that all objects exert a gravitational force on one another. But it is difficult to observe the effect of the force of gravity unless the mass of one of the objects is very large. Which observation best supports the student's argument? Which one of these goes with the student's argument? What's the argument, he said? So we need something that's going to prove all objects exert a gravitational force on one another. When I read the choices, Amelia, what am I looking for? The wrong answer. Pay attention. The masses of the moon and earth are constant. Earth spins on its axis at a constant speed. The moon stays in orbit around earth. The solar system has moons of different masses. Which one does not support all objects exert a gravitational force on one another?
We're not even talking about the solar system.
Yes, we are.
We are, but like,
But you're saying that other things could have gravity too.
yeah, but it's not like specifically talking about you. It's talking about all things.
I think B's horrible.
These were
Because how does that prove that all objects put a gravitational force on one another? I don't like B. I think B's dumb. And I think A's bad too.
Why does it matter that their masses are constant?
How does their mass... Okay, the Earth's mass doesn't change. That means that all objects put a gravitational force on one another. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, but they're saying this sentence has to prove his argument that all objects exert a gravitational force on one another. Does that sentence do that? No. Which one does prove that all objects put a gravitational force on one another? Who missed it? No, you're not. Are you using the method of crossing out two that are not? Yeah, y'all aren't doing it. Y'all aren't looking at their choices and making it fit what they're saying at the top. That's why y'all struggle on my test. Because did you feel like this was that different from my test?
Yeah.
This was harder? Or my tests are harder?
It's because we overthink them. We usually overthink that it's like it's good to overthink.
Whatever. There's no way. My test is about the same as this.
You base it all
Lichens are made up of two tiny living things, fungi and algae. The fungi and the algae live close together, giving a lichen the appearance, they live close together, and then it makes him look like he's a single thing, but he's actually made of two. Algae produce food in photosynthesis, and fungus gather water. In this way, lichens can survive harsh weather that would kill a fungus or an algae growing on its own. Lichens can grow on sand, trees, or even rocks, but they are very sensitive to pollution sources and are seldom observed near factories or roads. So, since they're together, the lichen can do stuff, he can survive, but these wouldn't be able to survive if they were on their own. Does that make sense? Okay, so this is important too. Lichen can survive that would otherwise kill it if it was growing on its own. So, which type of relationship is best represented by fungus and algae in a lichen? Bet relationship. Okay, hang on. We're looking for two that are wrong. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to define them. This is the easy part. You should be able to say what each of these mean. What is this?
It means they work together. Parasite lives like it's like humans. It takes one close. It hurts.
Okay, so let's put...
It gets help. Yeah.
Look, if you can't think of a definition, it's okay to put an example. We just got to put something we know about each one. Okay, so a tapeworm, worm, human. Symbiotic.
The leeching.
Both help each other.
Well, we don't know that for sure yet. Hang on, let's come back to him. What's predator prey?
Where a cheetah eats lion,
Rat and cow.
Lion and gazelle. What's competitive?
They're trying to get something.
Fight. Fight. That you need to know. Competitive is fight. Okay, so we need two that are not right. Are these two, the fungus and the algae, are they fighting?
No.
Is one the predator and one the prey, like a lion and a gazelle?
No.
No. So it's not C or D. Who chose C or D? Does that make sense now? Okay. As long as we understand, y'all are going to be able to do it right on the test next week. I promise. I know it. I believe it in my heart. So, now we got to figure it out. Is this like tapeworm human? Or would it be symbiotic?
Symbiotic.
It's symbiotic. Symbiotic, no. Okay, there's three ways that symbiotic works.
One helps, one.
Either one gets something, the other one's hurt. One gets something and nothing happens, or they both get something. So basically, symbiotic always has good for somebody, but there could be bad. In this case, it's the best one. It's actually called mutualistic.
Like clover and crocodile.
Mutualistic. Okay? Now, which statements are evidence that supports the answer to part A?
This is the one I was talking about.
Which statements are proof? Are prove. Which ones prove part A? Which ones prove symbiosis? So see, I like to change their words to my words. Part A. I'm not making this up. Where did I get that? That's the answer. That's why they say you have to know this to get this. Evidence to support. That's going to be proof. So, lichens are sensitive to pollution. Does that prove symbiotic?
No.
Algae can live on their own, but fungi can't. I don't know. Fungi and algae are different types of organisms. Does that prove symbiosis?
No.
Algae produce food, but fungi do not. Fungi and algae have different ways of using energy. Does that prove symbiosis?
No.
That doesn't prove that they have a relationship where they both need each other. Is that confusing to y'all? We can leave it open. We don't have to keep it out. We don't have to put it out. If you can't find a bunch of them to put out, it's okay. Hang on. We just need to figure out something that does prove them living close together and not being able, since this says that the lichen can survive, but if they were alone, they couldn't survive, that's what we're trying to prove. That's what we're trying to prove. Okay? Fungi gather water much better than algae do.
No, that one was not. That one's the
So what is the answer? No, you just got fooled, buddy. Algae can live on their own, but fungus cannot. They both need each other. How could one live and the other not? They got you. Snap. It's D and F. Anybody get both right? You did?
I got both wrong.
Well,
One answer.
but even if he got one, it doesn't count.
So what does that mean with
You got the point.
I was about to put B, but then I realized, oh wait, it says
Number 4. Huh? Then you wouldn't get the points. That's what I hate. Okay, number 4. Alligators depend on water resources. That means they
need it.
need it. They need the water. in many different ways, 3 of which are listed. So what are these 3 for? What are these 3?
What they need, like for them to survive.
Ways they need water. What's nesting? A nesting site would be where they lay eggs or give birth. Habitat is where they, food is where they, okay, so they have to have water to lay eggs, live, and eat. The graph shows annual rainfall. So rainfall will be the
Amount of water.
water. Okay, what about this graph? Before I ever do anything else, I'm looking at this graph. What's going on?
It's an average, and then it dips down low, and then it begins to start.
So right here it's going, but it still goes up, and then it goes down, and then it goes up. Yeah, but if you take this and divide them all out, you're going to get an average increase. Even though this tiny one did that, it's kind of like what she said a minute ago, like it's still going to be, yeah, it's still going to be an average that it goes up. Now, it doesn't go up at a constant amount, but it's, yeah, you average that out and it's going to be that it goes up. Okay, which claim is best supported by the data in the graph and the information on how alligators depend on water? From 1990 to 1995, oh, look at this. 90 to 95, 90 to 95, 85 to 95, 85 to 95. Okay, so guess what? Guess what? When you have that, that's awesome, because we're about to be able to get rid of something. We've got to get rid of something. Okay, so let's do this. First it tells me 90 to 95. So from there to there, what's happening? Increase. And then from here to here, what's happening? Up, down, up. So it says 90 to 95, alligator population increased. Alligator population increased. 85, 95, alligator population remained the same. Alligator population remained the same. C and D are wrong. Who missed it? They chose C or D. Does it make sense now? Because if the water is going up, down, and up, then their population is directly affected by that water, because they have to have this water to do this. That water is a limiting factor. Write that next to 4. Water is limiting factor. It's what's going to determine their carrying capacity.
So they have more water, their carrying capacity will be higher?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because then they can do more eggs, they can eat more food.
There's going to be more fish that come from different areas.
So we either have the alligator population increased because an increase in nesting sites, food supply, and habitat, or because of an increase in nesting sites and a decrease in food supply. It's A. Who missed it? So you put B? Okay, does it make sense now? All right, awesome. Number 5, a student makes a simple musical instrument using a single hollow steel pipe. The student taps the pipe to produce soft sounds and taps it again to make loud sounds. Identify the graphs that best represent the softest sound and the loudest sound. Okay, soft and loud. Write this on next to it. Soft and loud. What do we know about the loudness and the softness? And pitch goes with frequency. Soft and loud is amplitude. So, it wants me to label the y-axis on each graph with the word amplitude, frequency, or wavelength. Which one am I choosing?
Amplitude.
Now, This graph says softest, this one says loudest. All right, let's go down here. If you labeled the graph amplitude, let's go to the picture and label the amplitude. You better be doing this on your picture.
The higher the amplitude, the higher.
Which one is the softest sound?
The first one. Can we call them A, B, or C?
I don't care. Which one is the loudest sound? If you got this wrong, shame on you. I mean, that's pitiful.
That's like easy.
Any questions? Who missed this? What'd you put? But you picked out the right pictures? I have no idea how they will score that. I'd have to look that up. Number 6. Okay. Okay, let me tell you about this number 6. Stop and listen. I have given this question to y'all 3 times now. And every single time, y'all have failed it. Yes. Yesterday, everybody who turned in a paper for me to check, nobody passed it. And when y'all had it on that other worksheet, everybody failed it. I'm going to teach you how to do this one time, and you can bet I'm about to send you another one just like it. I have one. I have one, and I will go and copy and paste it. So you better be ready. Students designed 2 experiments to study questions about electric current and magnetic fields. The students drew pictures of their experiments. Which question is each experiment most likely designed to answer? That means, what are they going to test? What are they testing in their experiment? For each experimental design drawing, choose a question that the students could answer with that design. Not all questions will be used. All right, before we read their stuff, we're going to the picture. What can you tell me about this picture? Anything that I've taught you, you can tell me about this picture. There's a nail. This whole thing is an
Electromagnetic. There's a compass. There's a pointed to the nail.
Okay, so what side of it is this?
The north side.
And which side is this? Are you writing all this on your picture?
You can write it on the answer.
No, you write it on your paper, on your answer sheet picture. The one that you have. We have a nail. We have a wire.
Battery.
And it's already labeled. So, that's pretty much all we could say about this. What could we say about this one?
We have a wire.
Okay, we have a wire. We have a battery. And what about this? So this is north and this is south. Okay. I mean, that's pretty much all we could say. Now, we are reading these looking for the wrong answer. Which is the north pole of an electromagnet? What is the effect of the size of the nail on the strength of the magnet? Who chose this one? What's the effect of the size of the nail on the strength? For some reason, people love this answer.
I thought it was it. There was only one question.
Okay, you ready? You ready? In an experiment, there is something called an independent variable. The independent variable is the thing that I change. The only thing in that sentence that I can physically change is the size of the nail. Do I have different size nails?
No, it only gives you one nail.
Wrong. It's not testing size of nail. Okay? Can a changing magnetic field cause electric current to flow? I don't know. What is the direction of the magnetic field around a current carrying wire? Do the north poles of 2 electromagnets repel or attract?
No, that one's absolutely wrong.
Who chose that? Do the north poles of 2 electromagnets repel or attract?
There's not one that has two electrons.
There's not 2 electromagnets. That's wrong. Does the amount of electric current flowing through the wire determine the strength of the magnetic field? Who chose that? Do you have a way to measure current flowing through the wire? Or how do you know the amount of electric current flowing through the wire? And how do you know the strength of the magnetic field? Is this compass going to tell you the strength of the magnetic field? No, it will only tell you if there's one present. Right? Does that make sense? Okay, that one's wrong. So, with what's left, what goes with the first one?
Oh, which is the north pole of an electromagnet?
Which is the north pole of an electromagnet?
For the first one, I put what is the direction of the
You get it? Yeah.
It's kind of hard.
No, it's not.
I mean, there's 3 of them.
It's not hard because the only one that will match is the one that matches the picture. That's why when I gave this back to y'all, when I took it for a grade a long time ago, I said, if it's not in the picture, don't choose it. I know I said that every hour 1,000,000 times. I know. That's how you have to figure this out. You can, if they give you items, you can only make up an experiment with that what's there. You can only answer questions with the stuff that's there.
There's like 3 of them that say carrying wire and electric current. There's 3 of them that have things in them that are.
Okay, but wait. Well, this is the only one that we put electromagnet in. You have to know that that's an electromagnet. Now, I've got these two. Can a changing magnetic field cause electric current to flow?
Nothing to change the magnetic field.
Or, what is the direction of the magnetic field around a current carrying wire? Do I have direction of a magnet and a current wire?
Yes.
That's this one. I'd have to go back and see if you get credit. I don't know. On my test when I graded them, you would have gotten credit for having that box correct. I don't know. What now?
Because number 1, on number 6, I put the first one. What's the direction of the magnetic field around a current carrying wire?
Nope. Okay? Okay, I'm not reading all of the eclipse stuff. We're going on to 7a. Well, you can go back and read it. Which statement best explains what the orbits in figure 4 show about the role of gravity in the motion of the Earth-Moon system? Okay, so where's figure 4?
Figure 4 is the one right above it.
Okay, this is figure 4. So, what does figure 4 show about the role of gravity in the Earth-Moon system? Do you see the Earth-Moon system?
Yes.
Right here. What's the role of gravity right there?
The Earth is orbiting.
I don't want you, no. I said, what's the role of gravity right between those, right there? What does gravity do? Gravity keeps them together? Gravity keeps the moon, you better be writing this down, in orbit, what? Around. And then what does the Earth do? Earth, orbit, sun.
If
Huh?
you were like put an answer down.
Right, so what's Miss Bro doing? She's already trying to answer it before. I'm already trying to get my information straight because they use so many words. So many words that I'm not playing. Look, we are not playing their game. We're telling them, I'm in control, I'm in charge, and I'm doing it my way. We're not playing their game. That's the problem. Y'all get caught up in my game, and guess who wins? If you want to win, you can't play their game. You got to do it your way. If you already understand this, you can go through here and it's going to make a whole lot more sense. The force of gravity between the moon and the sun causes the moon to orbit Earth while the Earth-Moon system orbits the sun. The force of gravity between Earth and the moon causes the moon to orbit Earth while the Earth-Moon system orbits the sun. The force of gravity acts separately between Earth and the sun and between the moon and the sun to cause the motions of the Earth-Moon system. The force of gravity between Earth and the sun and between the moon and the sun are equal and do not affect the motions of the Earth-Moon system. What's wrong? D's stupid. Boom! You're playing the game. You're losing.
Why does it make it so hard?
They don't make it hard. Y'all are falling for it.
They're just using their way.
Y'all are falling for it. You got to find how. All I did was underline some words. Y'all are falling for it. What other one's wrong? C. Does gravity act separately between Earth and Sun and between the Moon and the Sun to cause motions? Is that what makes the Earth-Moon system move? No, that's all stupid.
They make a stupid question, really.
So we said that gravity keeps the Moon in orbit around the Earth. Which one is closest to that? Yes. Who missed it? Who put A? You put A? Number 7B. Which factors affect the motion of the Earth-Moon system and therefore affect the timing of solar and lunar eclipses? Select the two correct answers. Okay, so now, what is affecting the motion of the Earth-Moon system? Please tell me you did not choose A.
I did not. I did not skip one of them.
Which other one does not cause the motion of the Earth-Moon system?
The amount of sunlight. B.
The amount of sunlight emitted by the sun? Does that affect the motion of the Earth-Moon system? Nope. The amount of sunlight reflected by the moon?
No.
And see, in this one, since we know it's two correct answers, we can get rid of the other ones. It's B and C. Who missed it? Ah! I got it right. What'd you put? Y'all really chose something about the sunlight? The amount of light makes the moon go faster. What? What'd you? The amount of light the sun makes the moon go faster.
No, forgot this
This is not, because you didn't focus on the main thing. Solar eclipse. What did we say for solar eclipse? Moon, middle, solar.
I got it right. I think.
M&M's. Solar eclipse is M&M's. They have to be in a straight line. No, if they're over here like this, it's not going to make a straight line. You're going to have a partial. The earth would stick out behind him.
This is like the only one I got wrong.
No, Gage, you drew a lunar eclipse. You did Earth, Moon, or you did Earth, Moon,
I did that. I did Earth, man. Like,
How can you
Moon, Earth?
from the sun?
Oh, Are you kidding me? Gage?
That's a lunar eclipse. That's a lunar eclipse.
You put the moon on the Earth's orbit, son.
No matter what, that should have been the easiest one to put. Like, Earth is right on the line. Easy.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, yes, for real. I mean, the Earth, y'all should have realized it went here, here, or here, but
That would have been like, that'd be like,
okay.
gave you half, like, what's in the answer.
I put moon right behind Earth. What's that done?